Hello people, this is Ryder here with a review of the Kamen Rider Geats DX Magnum Shooter 40X. So this is the main sidearm of Kamen Rider Geats whenever he uses the Magnum raised buckle. And as you can see from here, it includes the water raised buckle. And I'm pretty sure this is Magnum. No, Magnum boost I meant. Like, again, pretty neat box overall. The top shows off the two modes, the handgun and rifle, and then shows you using the raised buckles. Yep, so here is Geats using it in handgun mode. And then right here are the contents and the QR code for the PDF for the instructions. And then here's rifle mode. All the content warnings and such, battery requirements, and the back has everything that we are going to show. So let's take a look at it. So here are all the contents out of the box. I'll put in the raised buckle to the side. Apologize for the yellowing right now. Hopefully it's fixed in post-production coloring, but it's not going to, because we just suck at that. Anyways, here we are with the Magnum Shooter 40X, and I really like the look of it overall. First of all, I appreciate them doing just a gun sidearm, because I'm so sick of sword guns. Like, I'm at least glad since technically, well, I mean, since the Reiwa era, they haven't been trying to combine weapons. It's either you get a sword, you either get a bladed weapon, or a ranged weapon. This time we got a ranged weapon. So, it's honestly, the Magnum Shooter 40X isn't, as you can see, like, it does technically fit on my hands, but to actually comfortably hold it and press the trigger, I have to have my pinky out. But other than that, like, again, I just like the sleekness of it. It's not the same shade of white compared to the Magnum raised buckle. This one has a more of a pearlescent white, which I appreciate. And then we got this nice red, and especially from the back here, as this is where we're gonna pull back and such. And I assume this is just black plastic and such. We have a caution warning thing there. We have a raised buckle slot like so, and we actually have a another raised buckle slot here, because I think I'm covering these items wrong, in the wrong order. And then we got a speaker here. I actually forgot to mention the speakers for the Desire driver. Actually, these two holes. Actually, it's just this one hole. It's just that it's open on both sides. And when you press this back button like so, this top part pops open for you to lift over to extend to the rifle mode, to which, again, like, I think for what it is, I think it's pretty decent. It's obviously the size is not great to like actually hold it like a rifle, but I mean, I think it does the job well enough and such. And again, I don't really have a good size comparison. I think the only thing we have close is the two-side driver. To which, yeah, it's basically the same thing, like handle-wise, just because they're both weapons that are kind of, they don't have the best handles, but I mean, I think they're pretty decent enough and such. So, like, obviously to say this beforehand, this only runs on cell batteries. However, it actually does have an on and off switch. So it does have a pull tab, but if it has an on off switch, I don't feel the need of having to keep the pull tab, so I just have it like Let me actually pull one. This is not... I don't have a pull tab that's like close enough for these, but you know, I just have it right there. So on off switch like so.
Magnum Shooter 40X.
So we have a red LED that glows through here pretty nicely. And, you know, when we press the trigger, we get a single firing sound. And obviously it's just a red LED. And then if we pull the tail back, we charge up the gun to basically make it into a machine gun. A submachine gun, I meant. And that's basically it for this, for the handgun mode. So when we extend it to rifle mode, basically this is how the mechanism works. So you have to like pull it like out really quickly. And then again, we just get a single firing sound. And then again, just pull it back. We get a nice standby sound, and then just press the trigger again. So as you can hear from this one, as opposed to handgun mode, we actually do get a finisher sound or phrase, or we get tactical shoot. And then just fold it back in like so. And to show raised buckle compatibility, so you take a raised buckle and then you simply slot it at this front portion of the rifle like so. Basically, just pretend this is like the right section of the raise or the desire driver. Just pretend it's like that, but basically you're just putting it in a upward orientation. So when you insert the raised buckle, the LED coordinates with the color of the raised buckle, and then if you just press the trigger like so, you get tactical blast. However, that's technically not accurate, as the way you're supposed to use the raised buckle is you insert it like so, then activate the raised buckle. So then you get the corresponding sound of the raised buckle, then press the trigger. Woohoo, temperature. So next up, when we put in rifle, we will actually use Magnum, as that's kind of the sole point of this mode, as this is going to be the worst weapon to like put gimmicks in because I can't even show it. So slot in Magnum like so. We get the white LED unlike the green LED. Now Magnum is interesting as you can't actually do what it's intended to do, because if you do so, it actually just reads it as the one, which is honestly weird, but oh well. So, so there is the Magnum Tactical Blast. They're both Tactical Blasts, it's just that the end sounds different. Basically, luckily, because this thing is springy enough, you can still press it, so you can't pretend to press it. But other than that, it is kind of weird that you can't do that. Then last but not least, here's Boost. Again, it's a rainbow LED, or a 7 LED instead of red, or green. This one you can only do once. I've been forgetting to say, obviously you remove the raised buckle by pressing this back and then sliding it out. Our last one, because I keep forgetting, is actually hammer. Because I wanted to point something out, but hammer doesn't like going. So as you can see, it's still a purple or a pink LED. You can push that back. You can change modes all you want.
Rifle, tactical blast. Hammer, tactical blast.
So basically, I guess to rephrase that, basically pressing this
Hammer, tactical blast.
just has the name of the buckle instead of just
Tactical blast.
instead of doing that, and then
Tactical blast.
yeah. So basically, this doesn't do anything when you have a buckle, but
Handgun.
basically, if you couldn't tell, you know, the finishers don't really change, but I at least appreciate that the LEDs are coordinated to the buckle and that it has the corresponding sound of the buckle activation. So here is the water raised buckle, which is definitely interesting. The shade of blue I like overall, and just, you know, the faucet design I think is pretty interesting. I think the camera is actually capturing the shade of blue correctly, so that's pretty good. This one is 008, and the QR code for gambarizing. And then the gimmick for this one, you just simply turn the faucet either way, just because of the orientation. This one I feel like is definitely the weirdest one, because I feel like you can... This one will just break, like, you know, it will like break off a notch or something, but it won't. Also, this one's interesting because this is technically one of the very few DX ones that actually has a different like pin or peg, because typically it's supposed to be the same plastic. And as you can tell too, this one's not transparent. I just realized that. Yeah, this one is definitely not consistent. Oh gosh. So here we go with the water race buckle. Really like the light blue LED, and then just twist it like so. Yep, just like hammer. It's just instead of a hammer, it's water. So then, I'll actually show this one only once because it was canon. When we use boost with any other buckle. So now we are Geats water boost, and then now we are, I think it's still just water boost revolve on, unless, I don't know, I keep messing up the names. This is now boost water, to which, when we do this twice, water attacks. Jeez. I'll just put it up there. But yeah, overall, what I think about the Magnum Shooter 40X, I think it's pretty decent. It's, like, I guess to put it lightly, it's pretty on par with the Oni Buster 50 of just like compatibility with the other gimmicks. It's basically the same thing of just, okay, cool, it at least says the name, and at least the LEDs at least coordinate with the buckle. Obviously, again, I mean, the thing is that, yeah, the Oni Buster 50 obviously send a signal to the vice stamp to do that stuff. But I mean, it's basically the same thing of the vice stamp. Like, the weapon still correlates the the LED color to the buckle. But I don't think that's bad or anything. I'm at least glad it does. Like, at least it does the bare minimum. And I just find it really welcoming that we finally have a sidearm that's not a sword. Or like a 2-in-1 thing. I mean, Revice was the one that kind of brought it back, but it didn't like transform or anything, so I thought it was fine. But other than that, like, I do think this is a pretty neat weapon. And obviously, you get the water raised buckle out of this too, but obviously you can get this through other avenues, such as Gashmon Candy Toy. And like what I pointed out before, I don't think, I'm pretty sure all of these are consistent because of the fact, obviously, if you don't recall, the big thing with the raised buckles this year with the Gashapon and Candy Toy, no differences. They're all the same. Because of the fact they don't have to do any sacrifices. So basically, it doesn't matter, you get Gashapon and Candy Toy, the only thing that you're going to be able to tell of which version you got is through the QR code. As it will state either V or C. That's basically the only difference, the QR code. And maybe whether or not the track will be transparent, it will be opaque, the peg color will be consistent, it will not. Yeah. Other than that, like, if you are collecting the raised buckles, and if you want a toy that actually does read the raised buckles, I do highly recommend it. But other than that, if you don't want it, then don't pick it up. Especially because water is pretty simple on getting. So, yeah, I don't know. I already had to wait like nearly an hour for the camera to cool down. Now the battery's gonna die. That'll have to do with this review. This is Ryder on Movie People. Bye.